Alright, so the first thing we're going to do to show how to start using Revit graphics with imported drawings is to look at the floor plans and how they're made. So you'll see a couple of different setups for floor plans over here. If I go to plan A1, right, and I'm going to close my hidden windows up here, and then I'm going to go to plan A1 schematic, and I'm going to WT, which is window tile, and ZA, which is zoom all, and you can see two different plans. One is a schematic that can be put on a sheet, and one is kind of like a big messy plan that has all the sections and everything turned on. So one of the things that's really nice about Revit, and if you want to bring something in, is it will automatically section your model, and then you can make a new plan, a schematic plan that represents that section, right? And so how is it making these floor plans? Like, where is it deciding how to cut? So let's take a look at the west elevation. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on the west elevation, right? And I'll zoom in on that guy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close my plan 1, and I'm going to WTZA, so I've got both of these guys. So plan A1 is right here. This is called a level, and these levels are what determine how the floor plan is being cut. So what it's doing is it's going from that level, going up 4 feet and cutting that model, right, in half. Just orthogonally and looking down on it. And then we have some visibility settings over here. So if I go to, you can see that our levels are not in the correct place. The levels should really be at the finished floor, right? And these two are not. Remember, this is a template that was set up, and you have to go in and do some adjustment. So I'm going to go ahead and close plan A1 schematic, and we'll open up plan A3 schematic and window tile ZA, right? Oop, kind of reversed them, but that's okay. So you can see that this plan A3 is very high, right? It's high up in the air. So what I'm going to do is pick this level and move it down, and you're going to see the plan update because it's going to move the section cut interactively. So there's a couple of different ways I can come in here. I'm going to activate this view. I'm going to select the level, and I'm going to go to the move up here in the modify toolbar, and I'm going to pick the level somewhere within the building, right? And then I'm just going to move down. I can zoom in, scrolling my middle mouse bar until I get to that vertical, and then I'm going to click. And you're going to see the floor plan update as I move that, right? So that works out quite well. So we get an updated floor plan. So if I were to move it up further, which if you select the object, so I'm clicking off so nothing's selected, if you hover over it, you get a drag move, right? So I can just drag it up, right? And so now it's kind of in the middle of the roof, right? And you can see it start to cut through the roof as it starts to cut through the columns. Now another way I can get this into the correct place instead of using the select and then a more accurate relative pick point move is I can go to the align command. So if I click on the align command, I'm going to hover over first the thing I want to move to, so the top of the third floor, and then the thing I want to move to it, right? And it will move that to it. Okay, so one last thing. I'm going to come over into my plan A3 schematic, and when I'm selected on nothing, it shows the properties of the view. Now one of the properties of the view is the view range. So if I go to edit, right, and I bring out this view range, there's a show here. So this is going to talk about how Revit is cutting these floor plans. So basically we're at plan A3 on all of these. The cut plane is at 4 feet above plan A3. I could adjust that here if I wanted to. The bottom of the primary range, so right here, right, is at 0, which is at the finished floor. And then the top is at 7'6", and that's typical, so right there. And then there's also a view depth, so you can cut the view depth off right now. So it's not looking below A3, it's looking down, and then it's stopping right here below A3. And then you have a view depth and a view range. So your view can actually go deeper than your primary range. The primary range is selectable objects, and the view is what you can see. So you might be able to see something you can't select if it's not in your primary range. All right, so that's a little bit about floor plans. When we come back, we'll actually make a floor plan.